Hi, we're in Baltimore, Maryland. I have a new friend here I'd like to introduce to you. Why don't you give us your name? Tell us where you are right now.
Hi, my name is Shawn Coleman.
Oh, Shawn, are we in, what place are we at right now?
We're in Baltimore City at the Helping Up Mission.
Oh, that's a great mission, isn't it? Well, you know, Shawn has a wonderful testimony. I wanted him to give his testimony today. Shawn, tell us a little bit about your background. Tell me, were you raised in Baltimore?
No, I was actually raised in Washington, D.C. I was raised in a good middle-class family, you know, showing me good moral and social skills and all of that. But my mother remarried when I was at the age of 12, and I became an abused child. My stepfather was physically beating me, so I took to the streets. And at the age of 12, I was trying to survive in the streets, sleeping in parked cars, abandoned buildings, eating out of dumpsters. Of course, with no direction, ended up being put in detention centers, group homes, foster homes. At the age of 16, I picked up marijuana, but it wasn't until my late 20s, early 30s, where I got into cocaine and then later crack cocaine, where my life totally spiraled out of control. I ended up in California for about 12 years. Out of those 12 years, I want to say at least 2 to 3 of them, I was a complete homeless addict, living in alleys, eating out of dumpsters.
Oh my, that's awful. So tell me about that point in your life to where you knew you had to make a change. Is there something that happened in your life? You said, okay, this is it. I can't do this no more.
Well, it's hard to really put a finger on that because there were a few times that I tried that. I mean, I've been like in 9 programs and relapsed. I knew God was with me the whole time. To all these years, especially the many years of being in the streets and the hardships I went through and just trying to survive and using drugs, He had His hand on me. I was in a lot of situations where I should have been dead, you know, and I just knew those moments of reprieve when I'd go to jail, you know, and I was able to reflect and have those moments of clarity that I really spoke to God. And He actually spoke through me a lot through my hands. I draw, and a lot of the images I was drawing was actually God projecting it through my hands to paper, and it was a lot of my pain and stuff on paper.
Wow, that's amazing. So tell me how you came to the mission.
From California, I tried to do some geographical cures, going to Texas and jumping around the different states. I ended up coming back to Washington, D.C. in 08, because this is where I'm from. But I had a friend that actually graduated from this program. And he knew the type of person I was and the talents God has blessed me with. And he just knew that I needed to be here. So he called me and told me about this place. It took me about 2 weeks to get here after he told me, of course, because I was still lost in darkness. But once I got here, the minute I walked through these doors, mind you, I told you I've been to 9 programs.
Right, I heard that.
Now, coming here, the moment I walked through the doors, the spirituality and the awesome vibe I got when I walked in, it was just like a whole cloud was lifted off of me. And I knew when they set me down for intake that was it.
You knew this is the right place.
Yes, I did.
So you've totally felt different at this place versus the other 8 you went to.
Exactly.
Oh, wow. So you come in here, you knew this was it, and they accepted you. So how long were you here?
A year.
A year.
I stayed the whole year and graduated.
You stayed the whole year and you graduated, but now you don't live here any longer, right?
No, I don't.
Yeah, so tell me about what you're doing now.
Well, now, while I was here, a lot of the directors, Pastor Gary, Mike Rollo, Tom Bonds, Masika, they supported and saw the positiveness that was within me and how I wanted to change my life. And being, as far as my job therapy, I was a chaplain's assistant, but I was drawing all the time. Drawing, and they supported it. And while I was here, getting close with the art teacher, she started taking my art and placing it around the buildings. Well, an award-winning photographer came through and saw one of my pieces and wanted to know who did it. And they introduced me to her, and she ended up becoming my agent.
Oh my, that's awesome.
And in doing that, she introduced me to an award-winning Cannes film director who directed my YouTube video. And then we networked with other people, and we created created my comic book company, Soul City Comics. And the difference in what I'm doing and what most mainstream comics are about is that I'm creating a movement. It's about reaching out and helping to change others' lives. And because of the movement that I'm doing, and because like right now I teach 2 classes here at the Mission now. I teach art club on Monday nights 7 to 8, and I teach a Tai Chi class on Wednesdays 1 to 2. But from word of mouth and because of God directing me, I have a big event coming up at the Baltimore Convention Center on the 19th where they're showing my story on film and a mural. And this Sunday on the 13th, I'm going to be on WBAL TV.
Yeah, that's interesting. You just did that this morning, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, so tell me about your shirt.
Well, this shirt is my book, Bluey Cool and the Molehill Gang.
Oh, so tell me about that.
A real quick synopsis on Bluey Cool. A cataclysmic angelic battle happens on Earth. During the battle, 3 feathers fall off of one of the angel's wings onto a trench coat that this homeless addict finds in a dumpster while he's looking for food.
Oh.
He puts the coat on because it's a cold, rainy night and he's being blamed for murder he didn't commit. In his last act of using the drugs, the 3 feathers have a reaction and turn into 3 angels that live in this coat and give him his powers. Now he fights against all that he once was and worked for.
Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. So
Yeah.
how could somebody ever get hold of that?
Well, right now, my website, www.whoisblueycool.com. You can go on there and like be a part of my Cool Words page. Right now, we're still putting the book together. Like I said, there's a lot of phenomenal artists out here.
Right.
This is more than just about the book. I've had the book ready to go for a minute. We're doing some retouch-ups on it, but I want it to be about the movement. I want it to be about the message. I want it to be about helping to change someone's life. That's why I do what I do.
Well, let me ask you something. How did the mission change your life?
The mission gave me a chance to really focus on me. The first thing in change is the change of character. Character is what you do when no one's looking. We can all put on that mask and I'm doing good and I'm this great person and I'm this and that. But what about when you're alone looking in that mirror and you're thinking, because the change is your thinking. You have to change your thinking in order to change your life and yourself.
Right.
So the mission gave me that opportunity to really do that. And that's what I really focused on, was the change of me.
That's beautiful. Let me ask you, if you had anybody looking at this video right now that had some problems with addictions or abuse or being in the streets and nowhere to turn, what would you suggest to them?
You know, that a question like that has been posed a few times. I have a few answers. Right now, when someone's still lost in the darkness, one thing is, the greatness of a man's power is in the measure of his surrender. He must open himself up and surrender all his will to God. That is the only way you're going to be able to move forward. Secondly, don't think about the bad that you have or have. Don't think about, I want this, I want that. A key thing for me in my change was my rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life.
Oh, that's beautiful. So, you know, that's beautiful advice for anybody, because, you know, what's so awesome is that he's been through everything and he's trying to give back. You know what? It's so awesome because one person can be the change for one person, and that person can be one change for another person. And I just get so excited when I get to hear about stories that are, you know, have a wonderful happy ending. Look at this. Is this not a happy ending? This is beautiful. And I just want to tell you thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting me interview you today.
Thank you so much.
God bless you.
God bless you too.
And good luck to you on all that. I know that because God's with you, it's going to be phenomenal.
His will.
Oh,
I only follow
yeah.
his path.
Oh,
That's all I
beautiful.
do.
Well, that's a wrap from Baltimore. And you know what? Be the change.